Few months after my dad died, it was probably 8 or 9 months later, my mom passed away. And after that happened, my sister was living on the property for a little while so she could just like get everything cleaned up and whatnot. And she started to experience a lot of strange, like paranormal activity while she was living there. And it started off small with just like, things going missing around the house. Like she'd hang a dress up in her closet and then couldn't find the dress when she went back to get it. And she had a relatively new car at the time, but the battery kept dying. Like every morning she'd have to go out and jump the battery. Got a new battery, the same thing still happened. And one morning, her and her boyfriend went out to jump the battery, and like the connectors that connect the wires to the battery, they had been disconnected. But you would have had to get inside the car and pop the hood and then like take the frame
That's very physical.
apparatus. So it wasn't like this was something that just randomly happened. One day she came home, and on our front porch there was this flower pot, and the flower pot was shattered, but it was like the flower had been removed. Like all the roots and everything were intact, and it was sat beside the shattered flower pot. And then one morning she was like leaving early for the airport. It was like, 4 in the morning, and there was a patch of woods on the other side of the property, and she said she heard this like sounded like a huge animal or something, almost like bluff charging through the woods, and then it just stopped. But the weirdest one night, it was probably like 10:30 at night, she called me like absolutely freaking out. And she said she was laying in bed, and it was almost like a thought beamed into her head. And this thought said, go look on top of the refrigerator.
Hmm.
So anyway, so these three chickens that she had on top of the refrigerator, like the bodies had been ripped off, and it was just like the sets of three legs on top of the refrigerator.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, so she was freaking out at this point.
Really?
So in Eastern European folklore, the Baba Yaga is like this witch crone type figure that's known for like abducting children. But what's interesting about it is she's said to live in a clearing in the forest, which is kind of like where my house as a child was stationed. But this is what's interesting. This entity is known for living in a hut that sits on chickens' legs. And I heard about this story just in passing, like on a podcast. And pardon my language, I about shit my pants when like this whole chicken leg motif came up.